We can start out a while since there's so few of us, but I am going to record just in case folks are not able to meet with us given class schedules or whatnot. You're here for the Siena program. That's excellent. Um, I'm not either of these people, but I'm going to give you information on folks that might be in and out throughout your program. Antonio Giordano is the founder of the program. You might see him in and out. And these are folks that we confer with on your materials. Marcella Barberino is a biomedical technologies specialist and the manager of the molecular oncology lab in Siena. So you might see them here and there, but there are faculty members of the University of Siena that will be there throughout the program. I'm Abby Gruber. You've probably gotten a bunch of emails from me. I'm one of the point people in the Ed Abroad office for this program. But we're going to give you a little bit of information about a tentative schedule, what the academics are. It's pretty straight from the course catalog, but just so you know, what the housing and cultural enrichment opportunities might be like, how to finance and how to get that application in. So Siena is a beautiful city. It is very small. It's not quite Rome in its size and scope, but it is closest to Florence. And when we ask students to fly in, we ask them to fly into Florence. In the past, historically, we have not gotten confirmed flight information or program dates yet. So we ask students that are in the program not to book anything until we tell you to. But you're right in the middle of the historic district, which is really beautiful. You are in a location of about 50,000 residents, much smaller than here with its 1.5 million people. But you are in the Tuscany region, so you will see really beautiful landscapes. It's really accessible to a lot of the bigger cities in Italy. And there is a Grand Hotel. The school isn't on this map, but again, that historic district is right in the center of town. Tentative dates are, as of now, departing from the United States on June 11th, arriving in Italy that next day, an orientation of 3 days, the 12th to the 14th. You are in your hospital research clinical placements for about a month and a half, 6 weeks from June 15th to July 25th. Your last night in housing would tentatively be the 26th, and then you would be home by the 27th. I am in the process of confirming these dates, and once we have them confirmed, once you are accepted to the program, you get access to Canvas, which will have all that information on there for you. The essentials of this program are trying to learn the guidelines and recommendations for how cancer cells respond to chemotherapy treatment and radiation treatment, what side effects and damage from those things might look like, patient care, basics of that, fundamentals about the physics and radiology around the process of caring for someone with cancer, and staging cancer and all of those things. However, I will say the course details are subject to last minute changes depending on availability. For example, if there's a surgery that you are able to view or something like that, there might be last minute changes. But these are the general topics that you would cover during the program. And you would be in an apartment style setting nearby that historic district. And that's all included as part of your program fee. That's not an extra cost that you have to pay. We have staff through an on-site study abroad provider. It's a Temple program, but we do have help facilitating the housing through IES. So there might be an instance where you might be rooming with someone on the IES Siena program, but it's the same style of apartment. So we do want to mention some challenges for students that might not necessarily have wet lab experience or are interested in getting that experience. It is a intensive program, takes a long time. You might not have as much free reign to travel and to do things that you might expect in like, oh, my classes are done at 12 p.m. noon, and I can just go somewhere for the afternoon. Not necessarily an 8-hour day, but they are longer days in the lab. And we just mentioned this for any summer program, especially those in hotter regions. The Italian summers have, especially lately, been very hot. So you want to be prepared for standing for long periods of time if you need to do so in the lab. So wear comfy shoes. But intense heat and sun if you are traveling outside, stuff like that. But if you are accepted and continue to participate in the program, we give you a pre-departure orientation. We suggest things to pack, so you don't have to worry about that. In terms of support, as we mentioned, you'd have the IES staff available to you all the time from the minute you get there. From the minute you are accepted to the program, you have access to Helix. Helix is a healthcare assistance provider. So if you're curious about, hey, where might I have to go for a pharmacy for medication or something like that, you can contact them. We would have the Helix contact information on your Canvas portal. And that's you're covered insurance-wise for the entirety of the program, so you're good to go. Just in case, the worst should happen, you're good to go. So obviously, if you're here, you're interested in applying, and we hope that you do. And Samar's already got her application in. So you need to be a full-time matriculated student with at least 2 semesters of college with a 2.5 GPA. On top of that, the Siena program asks that you be in good academic and disciplinary standing and have completed significant coursework in biology. You need to meet the prereqs for 3364. Off the top of my head, I've been reviewing apps today. You need biology 1111 or the honors equivalent of that, biology 1112 or the honors equivalent of that, and a combination of courses that you could use for that third requirement. I know one of them is 2207 that you have to take with 2227, but there are some other course numbers. You want to consult our website. We have all the course listings there. So it's 3 big chunks of requirements, anywhere from 3 to 4 courses worth. If you're concerned about, I might not have met exactly these courses, but I do have upper level biology courses, that's fine. We consider that on a case-by-case basis, and then we defer to the faculty if there are any questions. Our website's the place to go. If you haven't already started your app, it's going to be, our website got a pretty new facelift, but the top right is an applicant login. You'll want to go there. That's what we mean when we say Temple Study Abroad portal. That's the one. I know that there's like TU portal, TU mail, but our website is the place to go for your study abroad portal. You do need an academic advisor recommendation. It can't be a faculty member, it has to be a member of the advising team for your school. And you can submit that once the advisor submits the recommendation, you can submit your application. Deadlines. It is soon. It's under a month away. February 15th is the absolute deadline for all summer programs. If you would like to receive priority consideration for a need-based scholarship, it's a question as part of the application that says, would you like to be considered along with your materials? And we ask SFS for some numbers. If you say yes to that, you receive priority consideration if you apply by February 1st. And if you don't have your passport already, you should apply for it now, because it does take anywhere from 10 to 13 weeks with standard processing times. So if you don't have your passport, go to the State Department website, and that's where you can get started on applying for one. Especially with this program space is limited due to the nature of the lab. Having too many students in the lab, too many cooks in the kitchen makes it a little harder to move around that lab. So it is rolling admission on a first come, first served basis. And we try to shoot for within 2 weeks of application submission. I've been doing good on that. So within 2 weeks, you will at least hear that we have sent things along to the faculty, if not a complete decision. Secure your place in the program. Once you receive your letter, you have 2 weeks from that letter to place your program deposit and your housing deposit. There's two different $200 fees. And there's a housing agreement that you basically sign and say, yes, I agree to all of the rules and requirements of living in housing provided by Temple. So you get a 2-week window for all of those things. Those are non-refundable. If the program for some reason were not to run, we would notify you and you would receive your money back. But we want to make this thing run. So in that case, the deposits would be non-refundable. How do you make it work financially? The cool thing is Temple students pay Temple tuition. It's calculated on a part-time basis by your school. So CST students pay a different fee than College of Public Health, or for example. If you go to that QR code, it'll pull up our cost pages. You calculate your tuition first, plus the program fee, plus the university services. Hey, you use our library and stuff like that fee. Those are the things that get billed to you. There are other costs that we ask students to take care of on their own. For example, airfare is the biggest one. And food and drink, sous that you want to buy if you're in Italy, stuff like that. So if you have any questions about are there other sources of funding, we do have a scholarship page on our website. But if you have questions about other sources of funding, you can certainly reach out to Student Financial Services. If you are a Pell Grant recipient, and if you're not sure, you can also ask SFS. But if you're a Pell Grant recipient, that means you're also eligible for the Gilman Scholarship, which is a federally funded program. And the application just opened this week. So the Gilman Scholarship is anywhere up to $5,000. The application can be found at gilmanscholarship.org, and you have until the middle of March. I can't remember the exact date, but it's a good source of money, and there are a couple essays required. So if you're worrying about how do I write those essays, you want to reach out to the writing center. Yes, all of these things that I just mentioned, the scholarship page. We have links to all of these on that list. The Gilman Scholarship is the one I just pointed out. The Fund for Education Abroad, you don't have to go to a program through them to get money from them. So there are some other scholarships there that you might want to check out. And Diversity Abroad sometimes gives scholarships, so it might be worthwhile to check that website out too. And even though, I'm not leaving until May or June, it's worth getting information about what money might I actually have now. So you are also eligible to take out loans if you take 6 credits or more in the summer. So if it means that you're doing 3 credits on this program in summer 1, you would have to take 3 credits in summer 2 to be able to meet that requirement. Otherwise, we have a bunch of posts going up all the time on our blogs, our Instagram. I know we have a TikTok that is gaining popularity, but we have a bunch of social media spots to find us. But the biggest thing is if you have questions about your application, you want to send them here. You want to send them to program.manager@temple.edu. You can swing by. We have office hours. We have walk-in hours from 3:30 to 4:30 every day. And you can give us a call too. So we are easily accessible if you have any questions. Now, what questions do you have?
I have a question just regarding the application.
Sure.
I just have one remaining requirement before I can submit it.
Is it transcripts?
Maybe, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
But also, no, is it? Yes, but besides that, it's the advising appointment. 'Cause I
Yes.
got approval from my advisor in CST already. Do I have to schedule something else aside from this? So
Um,
this year,
If you want to sit and chat about any other questions you have, we can mark that off for you.
okay.
Mm-hmm.
I had a question
Mhm.
just about, so I was looking at like the study abroad scholarships to start
Yes.
applying.
Mhm.
I think one of them might be the Fund for Education Abroad that closes soon.
Mm-hmm.
So they ask for like your departure dates and they might need like your letter. So could we just use like the tentative departure date?
Yes, you can use those for now. And then as soon as you have a letter, you could use that. And any accepted student has their letters in their study abroad portal. Yep. Great question though. I know there is a smaller group of us, so we can chat one-on-one if you have any more questions. Otherwise, we hope that you submit your applications very soon and that you can participate in Siena.